I come from a lineage of very, very strong female entrepreneurs.
Right.
All my friends that went to Ife, they will tell you, Yemi has always said that she's not going to work for anybody, she's going to do her business.
Right.
Coming out of school, everybody was looking for a job in a bank or a company. I wasn't looking for that. I worked in a dry cleaning firm, and a lot of people were like, with all her gra, it's dry cleaning firm she ended up in. But for me, I met an amazing mentor there. One of the things that we had to do was wear uniforms. And they're like, there's this company in UK, it's the best. Everybody was very hopeful. And then they brought the uniform, and I'm like, is this what we paid all these thousands of pounds for? I can do this, I remember saying it. I just said, I can do this. And one of the girls was like, hey, we can do it. Go and start now. And that was how my business started.
I love that. In 2023, China's total exports were $3.4 trillion, making it the world's top exporter of goods, period. The China-Africa trade is rapidly growing as well, with $134 billion done in the first 5 months of 2025 alone. Why is this important? There are people who are driving this trade and making huge impact here on the African continent. And one of these people is none other than Yemi Chukwurah, aka YC, aka Yemi China, a formidable female entrepreneur who has built huge inroads into the China global supply ecosystem, bridging gaps, making huge profits, and herself mentoring a new wave of female entrepreneurs. Today's guest, pioneer, who has turned a small uniform supply business into a thriving mega $1 million textile enterprise. Today on Women Leaders Unscripted, we have Yemi Chukwurah, a woman who is connecting Nigeria to the world and empowering other women along the way. We're here again on Women Leaders Unscripted, where we have real, authentic conversations with women leaders from all over the world. Today, we have the absolutely amazing Yemi Chukwurah, the CEO of Sims and Stitches. We'll be talking about business, life, faith, love, and everything in between. My gorgeousness, you are one of my favorite people in the world. Thank you for coming on, Mrs.
Thank you
Chukwurah.
for having me, Francesca. Super glad to be here.
I love you. I want the whole world to know that I love you and you're such an incredible light. You are, I'll share the quick story of how we met. I think it was 10 years ago now.
Yes.
At the China Business School.
Yes.
I think the thing that I noticed about you first was so I was a bit of an introvert. I didn't really used to mix in class or talk to people, but it didn't offend you.
No. But you used to ask very deep questions.
So that's the thing, right? I just noticed that this woman likes me. And I didn't do anything to earn it and you always, that's a great question, my dear. Keep it up. And I was just like, okay. Also, you're a bit of a weirdo.
Interesting.
You're a bit of a weirdo. So let's start from the middle before we go to the start. You are this super accomplished entrepreneur. Why did you feel the need to go back to school?
Honestly, that was very accidental.
Okay.
I didn't feel that I needed that education. In fact, I told my staff, it's like the bank has been stealing from us. So for them to be offering me scholarship to go to school, why do I need to go to school?
Wait, let's pause there. You got a scholarship
from my bank, Stanbic IBTC,
to go and
do the Weller program. And I found it strange. I almost got kicked out first class. Dr. Thelma was going to help me in that class because I had a container coming and I had another one loading in China.
So you were busy.
And I was busy making calls and you're like, you can't have phone in this class. I'm like,
Who
I
is
don't
this
need to
one?
be here. My goods needs to leave China. So
Right.
at first, I didn't see the need. But, after that very first class, I made a decision about my life. I was not going to be learned. I was always going to be learning. Because that was when they talked about forensic auditing. And at the time, I had another bank that I was doing more transactions with. And I found out that they had overcharged me by God knows how many millions. And when I approached them, when the forensic auditors finished and they approached them, they actually admitted to owing small entrepreneur like me. So I just thought to myself, the voice of your education will speak louder than anything. So if you don't get the education, how do you begin to hear it? It's like speaking French. If I don't understand French, I can't hear it. I don't understand. Even if it's being shouted at me. So for me, that was a turning point. You will notice that after the first class, I was very well behaved in that class.
Yeah.
Because I got back, quite a bit of money. And at that point, I realized what education meant for an entrepreneur.
Right. And still on the SIBS experience, I remember you were also one of the people who had real time, so if they were saying things around strategy or innovation, for a lot of us, it was theoretical. It was oh, that sounds great. And you'd be like, oh, yes. So 5 years ago, when we did it was real time for you. And, you said the thing about learning. And I love that you always want to keep innovating and evolving. But did you at any time feel but I know more than this lecturer now? Or this person is talking theory. I already, I'm on the field. I already know what is happening. What was your mindset? I don't want to say humbling yourself because I hate using that word in relative to women. But what was sort of talk to me about your mind process.
Okay,
you are in class, you are doing billions in transactions. Why do you need to be there?
So for me, and it looks as if I kind of sometimes sound, or I'm an advocate for China Business School or China Europe International Business School, especially SIBS, because the learning from SIBS is different.
Right.
For an entrepreneur, I think that's the learning we want. Right. I've had the opportunity of doing programming in Harvard. I've done some form of program with Stanford. I've done also in Morocco. We were in Morocco together earlier this year in ESCA. But there's something about SIBS education. They will teach you and then take you to the market.
Right.
They will teach you and then take you to somebody that is doing it. So having that real life, it's not about being humbling. What's the use of you teaching me something that I cannot apply? And the truth of the matter is, a lot of times, even with lecturers, you listen. As an entrepreneur, you're listening, but you're sieving. It's like you're making pap. The whole thing is nutritious, but you have to sieve and then take the one you need. The water from pap is useful, but it might not be useful for you at that particular time. The pap itself might be what you need. The shaft you're getting is useful for some other things, but maybe at that particular time is not needed. So you need to be able to sieve in between, take what you need at the moment, and then keep the others back. But for me, in particular, the teaching in SIBS was very, very insightful.
Right.
The strategy, the innovation, the marketing, the approach is different. It's different from everything else that we're used to here.
Right.
And already have a soft spot for China.
Yeah.
China,
we'll talk about that.
China is like my second home.
Yeah.
I love the value system. I love the principle. I love everything about them. I love doing business in China.
Right.
So that learning and that teaching, bringing it into my own business. For example, I have a manufacturing factory. And for years, we struggle. If we make 2,000 shirts and you put them down, I can tell you, as you made this, Afis made this.
So
I can
quality
pick the tailor
control.
that.
Right.
And it wasn't like we're not doing it right.
Right.
Now, we had a project management model. And there were some things the lady spoke about. I held on tight to that thing. That week, I made sure I traveled to China. And I met one of my suppliers that we've worked for like a decade. And I just poured those things to him. Somebody that has never considered me, and he said, you know what, YC? Because that's what they call me in China. He said, I'm going to allow you to come into my factory because of what you just said. Because for the first time, I understood how they were doing things. Because I would go there and say, we don't do it like that. So I went very humbled and I said, you know what? I've learned this. I want to know how to apply it. And it took his time. This took me like almost 2-3 years, this learning.
Right.
To learn how they were doing things in their factory.
Right.
And it was such an eye-opener.
Right.
I got back home. I called my wonderful tailors. They told me, MD is a joke. And for everybody that had that mindset, I didn't get angry with them.
Right.
I quietly paid them and told them to leave.
Good.
And the people that were there, I employed new people. And I told them, this is how we're going to do it. Before, I would say, we need 10, 20, 40 tailors. I realized I actually don't need that. I can have a few main tailors and have contract people. So I don't even have to incur so much. My factory blew up overnight. Now we can do 100,000 pieces. Things that if you give me 5,000 job before, I'm off to China. So those are things that now became easy. And it is from my learning.
Right.
So any learning that you can distill to real life problem solving strategy.
Right.
That, for me, that's real gold.
Right.
And that's what I call an education.
I need to put a pin in this conversation because there are many things that I want us to go deep on. I want us to talk about capacity development. And you know how people do business in Nigeria? It's like, just take this one and go. I want to talk about that. And I want us to talk about global. You said if you give us 100,000 pieces,
now we can do it.
Wait, I'm sorry. Is it in Nigeria?
Yes, in Nigeria.
Okay, so we'll talk about that too. Globalization and how you, and this is why I love you, because you've created a global business, right? Okay, but let's go back to the beginning. How did your journey? Because like we see you and you're like, oh. The way I always think about, we think about God and we say Alpha and Omega. I'm like, you have not met YC. You're like, oh, if somebody says, oh, I need to produce a car, you say, I'm a now. There's nothing impossible. You don't, I'm like, is she human? Do you see it? Do you sleep? But how did the journey start? Did you always know?
I've always known I was going to be an entrepreneur.
But how? Because there are people watching and they're like, and there are people who say, I always knew, but they can't produce anything. So there's no strategy.
For me, my story is different.
Okay.
I come from a lineage of very, very strong female entrepreneurs.
Right.
My great-great-grandmother was an entrepreneur. My great-grandmother, my grandmother, my mom. And they all have an influence on me. And I feel I've passed that on to my daughter because she launched her business at, I think, 14.
Yeah.
And her business is also thriving very well. She's also a very strong young lady. So I think this comes from all of these people. My mom was very big on education. But my mom will pay your school fees and tell you, I'm not paying you to go to school so that you can go and work for somebody.
Right. I'm
paying you so that you have knowledge on how to run your business and everything. Right. So I remember when I was going to university, everybody was like, you can talk, go and do law. And I'm like, law? And my mom was like, do you want to do law? Because if you want to be talking for a living, but calculate it very well. You do 5 years in university, then you go and do law school, then you go and sell. Before your friends, your mates would have finished making money. So pick what you wanted. So for me, I've always had that bit of support from home.
Right.
Looking at my mom, I'm modeling a lot of positive things about her. My mom is a can-do person. She doesn't sleep. I don't even remember. She's up and about. She's in Egypt today, this place tomorrow, doing this, doing that. My mom also makes clothes, but she was into children's clothing.
Right.
So seeing that, she just told me, what do you think you need in life? What do you love doing? I said, I love literature. I love literature. That one, if you wake me up from sleep, I write exam, I can't fail it. Then go and do it now. Learn the English and learn it to write proposal. And that's how come. I went to Ife to study English, but I majored in literature. And all my friends that went to Ife, they will tell you, Yemi has always said that she's not going to work for anybody. She's going to do her business.
Right.
And coming out of school, everybody was looking for a job in a bank or a company. I wasn't looking for that. I worked in a dry cleaning firm. And a lot of people were like, with all her gra, it's dry cleaning firm she ended up in. But for me, I'm also a person of faith, and I believe in the leading of the Holy Spirit. And that was where God led me to. And I met an amazing mentor there who today we are friends, we're sisters. I love her very much. And I got some deep life lessons from her. Right. I remember at my interview, my boss then asked me, why do you want to come and work here and not work for somebody else? By the way, you should have seen I went for this interview. I was supposed to be in camp. I did not have a black suit. You know those road safety jackets, the lime green one. That's the only suit I had. Guess what? That's why I wore for the interview. As I came in, I was shining. Everybody was looking at me and I was like, good morning. My name is this. Please, can we look past my gray suit? This is the only thing I have, and I have to be here for this interview. And the whole boss said, I'm laughing. And they're just looking at me and said, well, I need to be here, and I need to be here to wear something. This is the only thing I have. I wasn't going to go and borrow clothes, and I bet that's why I got the job, because at that point they couldn't just get about who is this girl. And working with her was for me very, very key. But one of the things that we had to do on that particular job was to wear uniforms. And they're like, oh, there's this company in UK, oh, it's the best. Everybody was very hopeful. And then they brought the uniform and I'm like, is this what we paid all these thousands of pounds for? I can't do this. You know, I remember saying it. I just said, I can't do this. And one of the girls was like, hey, if you can't do it, go and start now. And that was how my business started.
I love that.
Because I'm like, definitely, if they need uniform, other people need uniform. Then I can do it. And then making uniform for me was different from every other person that was making uniform. Because a lot of people that are making uniforms, they've never had to wear uniform before. I know the psychology of somebody wearing uniform, how people look down on you when you're wearing a t-shirt and they talk to you anyhow, to you wearing a suit and people talking to you differently or wearing. So even for me, till date, in curating uniforms for organization, I'm not just going to say, oh, you need a boiler suit. I'm going to sit down and ask you deep questions. Who are the people wearing it? Why are they wearing it? Can we add this? Can we do this? And I think that led to the success of my uniform making business.
I think that's so powerful because, so I'll share, where I used to work, I used to support like this senior leader. And I remember talking to her and saying, oh, this role is important because it's in service to your vision. And I could see her physically cringe. And I was like, she was like, please don't say serve. I don't like that word. And I thought, I'm sorry you don't like that word, but service is essential to leadership. If you cannot serve, you cannot lead. And obviously, Oyiboni, so she, perhaps it's not part of their culture. It's not something that she understood. Maybe she understands it as being subservient. And so I want you to talk about service, right? Because many people lots of people sometimes work just for the paycheck. They're just like, as long as I'm getting X amount of money, I'm not really going to serve this vision. Can you help us connect the dots between service? If you didn't serve in that capacity, all of these in-betweens, I don't think it would have been amplified in your business. So help us connect the dots between service and leadership.
For me, in serving, there's something I learned. And that gave birth to my own leadership qualities. And that is having an owning spirit. I'm working there like I own the business.
I love that.
So I'm not giving half measure. I'm not saying, it's none of my business.
Yeah.
If Shebi, like Yorubas will say, no, I'm not. Number one, I'm not seeing myself as alaru, which is a laborer. That's a mindset on its own. So whether my boss makes money or not, I've done my own bit. They are owing me for today. No, I never ever had that mindset.
Right.
Also, maybe because of the background I came from.
Yeah.
My mom didn't raise any of our kids. Single mom, but she didn't raise any of us to have the wrong kind of mindset. My mom was every bit the African mom. She will knock nonsense out of your head. So I went into that business, into that job, understanding the need, understanding the vision, understanding the goal, knowing what they need. And for me, every time I wanted my salary increase, it's not because they're increasing people's salary. I just thought myself, Yemi, you need more money. So what can you do differently? So I was redefining their visions for them. So I was doing over and above. So by themselves, they'll just say, oh, Yemi, we know you're exceeding expectation. You know, right now we're not increasing people's salary, but we feel you deserve more. In my mind, I'm like, yes, I know.
I do deserve more.
It was intentional. So I think in 1 year, I got my salary increased 4 times. And of course, people were jealous and all of that. But that was not my business. But my attitude to work had always been that of, we need to get things done. How do we do it in such a way that we come out on top? And when you remove that servant serving mentality from your mind, and you're looking at it, if I own this thing, how will I do it? It begins to do something to your spirit, to your attitude, to your mind, and your in totality your mindset and how you see life.
I wish I had a tambourine so I can shake it, because that right there was a word. Let's talk about, you talked about, when we're talking about how, when your factory expanded, when you were expanding, and then there were some people who didn't have, I want to talk about 2 things actually, who are just like, this can't be done. And you just, how we say in Nigeria, jejely, you are like, okay, that's the way out. Some people don't have, a lot of people don't have the standard of excellence. It's always viewed as, your own is too much, what is it? And there's a lot of anyhowness. So you sometimes see things delivered, maybe the thing is upside down, there's no quality control. You see people on Instagram every day dragging this vendor, what I ordered versus what I got. And at the root of it is that somebody isn't paying attention to final product or even the process. How have you been able to navigate that and I know your standards are like this. How have you been able to, I don't want to use the word navigate. How do you ensure those standards of excellence, especially within a country or a culture that always sort of like push back against it?
One thing I constantly tell myself is, have an excellent spirit. I don't want to lose sight of that. And one thing that I know for sure is killing businesses in Africa, in Nigeria especially, is the anyhowness.
Right.
Recently, I even had a big face-off with a client. Not due to any fault of mine. I don't think anybody had ever even spoken to me like that before, but I stomached it. Because the person was like, oh, I left Nigeria because I can't deal with things like this. This is why I left Nigeria. I don't want this. I don't want anybody coming to me with excuses. And I'm like, Nigeria will happen to you. Nigeria happens to everybody. It's sad that this has happened, but this is what happened. Oh, I don't want to hear that and all of that. So it's an ongoing battle.
Right.
For anybody that truly knows me, you know that I'm a sticker for excellence. We recently did a job in the factory. 2,000 shirts was done, delivered. And the client was like, oh, Mrs. Chukwurah, we wore this thing. And they just delivered part of it. Said, oh, we wore it, the black is running. And I saw that the sleeve was longer than, the person was just complaining that the fabric ran. I'd seen how the sleeve was longer. I'd seen how the neck was. I just told the person, I'm so sorry. In fact, the owner of the job had not seen the job. It was just some of the staff that wore it that said, oh, madam, I just thought I should mention this to you. So I told my staff, I was traveling with my family. We were in Amsterdam. We had one of those very long layover. My children were just looking at me like this, as in, Mommy, I don't get. They went back, retrieved all the shirts, got them that money to go and buy another one, wrote a lengthy bad email to the factory that supplied that fabric, got them to start working. They did overnight and everything. And by Monday, this was Saturday morning, by Monday morning, they were beautiful shirts delivered. And I told the person that, I'm so sorry. Like, what happened?
What happened?
But I saw those shirts. There's nothing wrong with them. You didn't have to do another one. But you see, if I did not replace those shirts, I would have damaged something within myself.
Oof.
And that is that thing that delivers an excellent job. Even if you don't see it, I know that's not my standard. I'm not going to lower my standard because you don't have the eyes to see what you should get. And that's what's killing businesses in Nigeria. What do you want to deliver? People don't even know what to deliver. Make them manage them. The red, no red rich, but red na red. Madam, the film manage them. You see that the film manage them? Use them like that.
Yeah.
It's what is destroying everything that we're doing. You won't get that in China.
Right.
They are a sticker for specification.
Right.
You give a Chinese man specification, Pantone color, is going to ask you for your Pantone color, so the color is not going to come out different. And if the color is one tiny bit different, they will replace the entire thing for you if you know how to do business with them, which a lot of Nigerians still don't know. And the Chinese are learning the anyhowness of Nigeria and giving Nigerians back what they want. So for me, in everything that I do, I try to do that. And for the client that was upset, I was like, this is why I left Nigeria. If only she had an idea what was happening back door, the battles that I fought to get what she wants for her, because I understand what she wants. And what has been done, she was looking at the finishing, the fit and everything. But you're going to sell this fabric. I know one thing that is going to make your customers to come back. If I buy a dress that has amazing finishing, I'm always going to go back to that person.
Right.
So she was just looking at the fit. While we're working at the fit, the finishing was key. But you're just looking at pictures. You can't see the finishing.
Right.
But for me, I know what I want to deliver. I apologized. We're doing the order for her. We're going to move past that. But what am I trying to say? It's an ongoing thing.
Right.
I know who I am. But the over almost 200 people that work with me, do they all get it?
Right.
Not all the time. Even some of them that get it, they don't always get it. One thing they know in my office, 2 bad things that, they will tell you MD will not take from you. You don't get to drop the ball. If you drop that ball, you pick it up. You can go away for 1 month and say, I'm suffering mental health issues. No problem. I'll even pay you salary. But you see, as that ball is hot, you will come back and carry it hot like that. And you will put it where it should be. That's number 1, 2. Number 2, I don't do wheelbarrow stuff.
What does that mean?
We're running a race. There are sacks. There are 5 of us on this side, 5 on the other hand, and maybe another line. And some people decide that, this sack, the heaviest one, we'll put it in this wheelbarrow. Oga, you fat pastors, you push. The other small ones, I'll carry. And then they all start running towards the finish line.
Right.
Then the other one, they said, Oga, we'll carry all this load, don't worry. Then they all carry it and sit in the wheelbarrow. So it's your guy that is pushing all of them.
Right.
I'm not going to have that.
So you need nimble
staff to have the owning spirit to work with me. You have to be intuitive. You have to be innovative. You have to be creative. You have to be able to think out of the box. You have to be able to do. I'm not the only one that is going to come and say, we've had an issue before that we had family meeting and it was the cleaner that gave us the solution. He now works as a tailor in the company. Wow. So I'm not embarrassed to say we have this problem. Go sit down and think it through.
Right.
Everybody's voice counts for me. Right. Because you don't know where wisdom is going to come from.
Do you feel discouraged sometimes? What have been, and we'll talk about again, expansion, globalization. Do you feel discouraged sometimes? Why don't you guys get it? Do you feel annoyed? You are somebody who is a stickler for excellence, and then a client is talking to you and saying blah blah blah. Do you feel like saying, please, I can just hang up this one, I don't need this rubbish?
I feel discourage almost every other week, if not every week. There's going to be that one thing that is going to make you question your life choices that, I could have stayed at a paid employment and just be enjoying my life and not taking any of this.
So what makes you keep going?
But also when I look at my people sometimes, when I look at how people have grown, how they have changed, how they are making impact, or things that they say, I mean, you see people evolve. I remember one of my staff, she bought a phone and brand new phone, and the phone was bad. She went to complain. They didn't even answer her. They just said that and there's nothing that we can do and everything. And she came to the office, she was sitting down, and I just saw her sit up. And she was typing, and she just went out. I was like, where's Fumi? I said that she went out. I was like, what's wrong with this girl? And then she came back. I was like, MJ, are you not proud of me? Come and read this mail. They're giving me a new phone. Then I just came back. I was like, that's how I'm going to use my money. And I just like, Channel your Yemi Chukwurah. What's that? Will MD take this rubbish? MD will change it for them. And I just went there that, who do you even think you're speaking to? I came here and I was like, so you have no idea how you're impacting people. I mean, for this particular person, she was timid, prone to a lot of mistakes and everything. But now she's a superpower on her own. Even me, I feel like, okay, madam, what are we doing? Because now she will even put an MD, I'm sorry. I know you want to do that. I know you are charitable. We are not running charity. This is what we are doing. We can't do that. Or if you want to do it, you pay us, then we can do it for you. So you see, when you see people coming to their own, there's a lady that works in our office. She's the one that worked on your box. She's an accountant. She came in as an accountant. You know those children that they forced to go to school to go and do certain courses. She cannot do that accounting thing. She's always shaking, always apologizing. I'm sorry, always making mistakes. And I just used to look at her. The HR was like, we have to let her go. That she's not a good fit. That they've been interviewed other accountants. But I did notice something about her. Her table is always so organized. She can organize things. So I moved her to our gift business section.
And
I'm finicky. I can arrange things, but I don't even have a superpower.
Right.
No, Bumi will do 1,000 boxes and nothing will look different. As in, everything
precision.
will align.
Wow.
She has that details. And that's how she discovered what her gift was.
Wow.
So being able to do that, those are the things that encourages me. Nigeria sometimes can even discourage you, not just the staff, as in they want to come to work, MD, traffic, this, that. There are the different things that will happen.
Right.
But when I look at the things that will upset me too, the things that makes me feel like this is worth it, I think I have more of the things that are like, you know what?
Right.
This is a ministry. This is a lifelong impact journey. This is life-changing. My PA, amazing young lady. When she came, she couldn't even tell. Every day, in fact, I must have sacked her like 10 times. She would come back. Recently, she told me, MD, let's not talk about that sacking again. We are past that stage. We'll be managing each other. But you see, these are women that have found their voices. That knows their gifts, that knows what they can do, that deliver back to back. I mean, they're human, they will still make mistakes, but they can even admit, people will do mistakes and they will...
And try to cover it up.
No, it's not like that. People that will come forward and say, MD, I just messed up this order. I did this with this client. These are my errors. These are the things I think I need to do it. I need you to follow me for a meeting because I need a bigger voice to speak for me. But I think I've got this. I can... remedy this. So even over a client and my people, I'll pick my people anytime. Because I can't employ somebody today and get them to be like that. I can get a new client. But my staff knows that, MD will go all the way for me.
Right.
Both male and female.
Right.
But you see those women, I have a special soft spot for them and they know. Because our environment really doesn't encourage women doing things like that. So, frustrating things every day.
I think it's interesting that you say, because when you ask people, why don't you quit? I don't know that I've heard, and I talk to people a lot. I don't think I've heard people. I don't feel like I've heard people say, just witnessing the evolution of, and you did say it, and I think that's one of the things that, amazes me about you, because I'm like, are you hearing what you're saying?
So I won't do things for the typical things that people do it for.
Yeah, but I'm like, sorry, I'm saying I'm like a girl from Sweet Valley High, because I'm looking for the words. Building people and the evolution of people, it also requires, you are literally pouring yourself into people. And I think sometimes people don't realize how much, like, that's energy transfer, that's values transfer, that's knowledge transfer, that's
definitely,
that's spirit transfer. It's such a powerful, hard, thankless, because some people you are trying to work.
But you know what? The days that you are down, that you feel like, I have to throw in the towel, I can't go on. Guess who will come and hold up your hand and hold you up? It's those people. They're like, MD, we can't give up now. Yes, things are bad. It's not looking like we didn't get that deal. That one didn't work. Okay, we don't have as much work. What can we do? MD, you didn't teach us to be like this. So it's just the same way Moses' hands were held up. Those people will come and hold up your hands. And the question I ask myself is, if you haven't poured into these people, who will be there for you? You can't keep changing stuff over and over and over and over. How do you even track your growth? How do you fail-proof your business? How do you know you're not failing? How do you know whether you are the problem or the business is the problem or there is a problem somewhere else? And even when I'm tired and everything, when I look at the number of families that they are
dependent on you,
I'll tell myself, get up that bed. So depression you have, I'm not your candidate. Get out. And then I pick myself up again. So yes, my people, I think people comes really high up for me. Yeah. And the fact that I know that the service that I'm given is making a difference. I'm walking on the road, I'm seeing children carrying my school bag, wearing my raincoat, or some random person wearing it. I'm like, we did that t-shirt. It was not 5 years ago. This t-shirt is still out there, It makes me feel good about myself, and I know that, Yemi, you're doing something. Other people have done t-shirts 1 month, they've thrown away their t-shirt. But my t-shirt of 5 years, I'm still seeing it. I'm going to offices, I'm seeing somebody, random person carry a cooler bag, and like, we did a cooler bag almost 10 years ago. It's still here. And like, Mrs. Chukwurah, you do such good products. It validates me.
Yeah.
It gives me a sense of, Yemi, you got this.
On the right path.
So those are things that keeps me going.
I want to talk about China. I was talking to someone a few weeks ago, and I said, I think you should be an ambassador or like Minister of Trade.
I'm waiting for that appointment.
Because what you do, and I'm being honest, what you do is not just enterprise, it's diplomacy. And I'll give you an example. When we were in Shanghai, actually, it wasn't Shanghai, I think it was Yiwu, one of those places. And we went into a factory, and they then said something along the lines of maybe they produce maybe like 100,000, 200,000, something pairs of socks every day. And me now, JJC, I was just like, wow, I was just behaving like a siren. Wow, 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 wow. And you're like, that's small now. And I looked at you and I was like, and you're like,
it is.
Yeah, carry now. And we're like, the people I do business with, if you tell them. So I was like, who is this woman? So talk to me about, and China gets a lot of flack. I mean, when we were growing up, we would say things like, Kilele, hope it's not China.
Made in
China. So there's a lot of misconceptions around quality from China. There's also a lot of or should I say disinformation about everybody now and their mother is going to China. But I don't know that people are doing it exactly. So talk to me about, how did you discover China, and why is it important to our business ecosystem in Nigeria?
Number one, China is the plug for supply chain globally. So if you are saying you're doing any form of business and you're not doing business with China, you have not started doing business.
Heard that?
That's one. China is the plug.
Right.
That's one. Two, recently I started a business which manages China procurement for people because somebody just told me, I mean, you're always doing this thing for people for free. Why don't you look for a way to monetize it and make it into a whole business? And it's been a very good business, and I'm very happy about it because there are a lot of good businesses in China. There are a lot of amazing people in China. There are a lot of people looking for people to do business with in Nigeria, in China. But just like we have bad people in Nigeria, we have bad people in China. And it's been the bad people that has been representing both parties.
Right.
Because a lot of times when you go to China and you want to do something, you find one random person in China that say they're an agent. They can speak Mandarin, the language barrier.
Right.
They're going to go to the Chinese and say, oh, this person is from Nigeria, do low quality thing for them. They don't mind it. And from this thing, I'm going to get so amount.
Right.
So if I tell you I want to do something worth 10,000 naira, and somebody has already come to you and say, I want to take 3,000 out of it, I'm getting a 7,000 naira quality product out of you already.
Right.
And that person is going to come to me and also collect money. So for me, what I do for people is, what do you want? I'm going to give you different factories you can work with.
Right.
Also MOU. There are things, there is a whole course that is doing business in China that people don't know about. There is an unwritten law in China. You can cheat a foreigner, but don't kill a foreigner. So you see people say, oh, I did this. When they brought my container, is this. If you enter the hands of the 419s in China, yes, they will do that. Right. Even I have had a situation like that before. I ordered for something and they sent something else to me. Unfortunately for the person that did it, to do an average person, you have a one-time visa to go to China, and then you have to wait to go. I had a 1-year visa and I go to China often. So it was like I got something last week and I plan on going back to China the next week. When she saw me, she almost ran out of her store. I just brought it back I bought a few back for her, and I told her, Madam, you are replacing everything. It's your loss. If you want it, I will tell me a shipper in Nigeria I can give it to. Then they will ship it to you. But the one you are giving me, I'm shipping it back to Nigeria, so you have to incur some cost. So she replaced all my order. And the other ones, I just gave them out for charity in Nigeria. So doing business in China is very, very interesting because China is not like Nigeria. You have different provinces that does different things. Right. You want commodities, you're going to Yiwu. You want electronic, you're going to Shenzhen. You want fabric, you're going to Onzo, Guangzhou. Different places. Even in Guangzhou, you have different Fengshai, those furniture, Hyundai, all of those places. So you know where what is.
Right.
And over the years, I have all this knowledge. I know these people. Also, there is a code of doing business in China. It's called Guanxi.
What does that mean?
So it's your network. It's an honor code. Meaning I'm not going to let you down. I'm going to do things. So for a good of maybe $100,000, because you are my Guanxi, I can give you for free. And say, when you sell bring it back for me. I can call you in the middle of the night and say, oh, I'm stranded. And because you are my Guanxi, someone like Tutu, who is also my friend, I'm going to bring her and say, Francesca, Tutu is my friend, do something with her. And because you know me, everything you accord to me, you're going to give it to Tutu. Her. So in China, you can be a billionaire in one day and be poor the next day. Because if you mess up one of your network,
it's like a ripple effect.
Every network that is associated with that person, they're going to pull the plug. Every network that is associated with people that pull the plug are going to pull the plug. So overnight, 1,000 people can pull plug, cancel you. That cancel culture in China is not what we are talking about here. It's major cancel. So you are going to have millions of dollars in your hand, and people are going to tell you, I'm not going to cooperate with you. I'm not going to do business with you because you messed up somewhere. Meanwhile, a gatesman can wake up and say, I have this idea, I want to do this business. And then, because he knows one good person, he can become a millionaire the next day because they're all just going to support him. As in, oh, it's somebody I know. Oh, is this. So that culture, the Chinese want to move it on to us. They want to do things with us. They're looking at doing business with Africans, Nigerians, but they are also scared. So it's people that they have Guanxi with. And that's what one of the beautiful thing about doing a program in SIBS, because I'm the alumni president, current alumni president for SIPS in Nigeria. You see this Chinese come and say, do you know somebody that they are more comfortable? Is there anybody in the alumni that is doing this that I can partner with? Is it so that gives you an edge? Because they feel like you know our way of doing things. You've learnt about us, you've learnt about how we do global business. Speed to market is another thing in China. You tell a Chinese man, oh, I'm thinking of starting a podcast. And 5 months after, if you tell a Chinese man you're starting a podcast today is what? Wednesday. Friday, they have started.
It's done.
They don't waste time. So Chinese don't understand how we Africans want to do something and we keep going round and round. They don't get it. I want to build a house. They will tell you the house will be ready. We can do it in 1 month. And in Nigeria, I want to build that house for 2-3 years. They can't understand that.
So there's a culture of excellence and a bias for speed and action.
Speed, action, which are things that for us culturally is wrong. We don't even do it. So there are things from both cultures that we can learn.
Right.
And we shouldn't be quick to say, oh, this is bad in China. It's because people don't know where to get what.
Right.
When you get to China and you say you want to do something, number one, you're not speaking their language. The agents that you meet, they will first take you around. So it's the anyhowness of Nigeria that they do. That they will take you there. Over. Then they will take you to some random place where they know the thing is cheap and tacky because of the money that they want to make. And that's the lapse I found in the China end of things, that people don't really have access to the good businesses. So that's that business that we've created now. So you want to ship your things. There are some shippers. When am I getting my goods? Go and relax. When it comes in, that's Nigerian shippers. And then your goods come in, they've stolen out of it. It's a mess. You don't know. They don't care about your delivery time. Like the Chinese are now shipping. And they're like, give us good people. They have an app. I'm giving you my goods. I'm seeing my goods is in Ethiopia.
So you're saying it's in like transit?
Yes, I can see it. I can see it's in Nigeria. I can see it's going through clearing. I can see it's in their warehouse. I don't need to call anybody. I don't need to take BP drug because I brought goods. A lot of people have BP drugs because they are shipping from China.
But how did you? Because now China is a fad. Everybody is going to China. How did you?
After years of being scammed,
right,
by Nigerian agents,
right, I
decided that it was time I go to China myself. And I remember the lady that I followed to China, trying to be nice, but was also trying to scam me on that trip. And it was very bad. I wanted to get my own phone line. She was like, no, we can be using one phone. I'm going to this factory. She will say, I'm going with you. And I'm like, I'm not a child, auntie. Go out. You said you want to come and do coffee. Go and do your coffee business and buy machines for my factory. Let me buy my machine in peace. And that very experience was one of the things that made me feel like I'm going to help people that wants to do business in China. I'm going to help them without trying to scam or anything. So over the years, I've helped people. Don't do this. Sometimes people say, you have to take a lot of money to China. Why don't you go on a fact-finding mission first and know what you want to do? And one thing I always tell people, if you have greed inside you, don't go to China, you will lose all the money. Greedy people, China is not for you. Don't go to China.
Why not?
Because there's a lady that I was mentoring. She wanted to be doing maternity dresses for women. Said, we don't get enough trendy maternity outfits here. So I took her, and as we're there, she saw, like I said, different provinces. We got to, where did we go to that day? I think we went to Fonsha, and she was seeing furniture. So like, Auntie Yemi, this furniture I'm going to sell. I said, you did not come to sell furniture.
I'm sorry. She went to do maternity dresses.
Yes, but you see, when you get furniture, the truth of the matter is when you get to the furniture factory, you want to be selling furniture because the whole city is selling furniture. You will see furniture you have not seen before in your life. You will see, and the prices. And one thing that a lot of people don't understand is when you're in China, things are cheap when you're converting them. But what they forget is that you have not calculated how much it's going to take you to bring it to Nigeria. You're not looking at the shipping costs.
Right.
What's the landing cost? And then you see something you want to buy just 1, 2, 3 carton. Somebody has come from Nigeria and has bought 10 containers of those goods.
Wow.
Your price is not going to be the same.
Right.
So maybe you should go back to Nigeria. You might be able to find it in Lagos Island markets at a cheaper price and sell in your own store instead of buying in China. Some people don't have enough money to trade in China because I want to buy this mug. For me, the Chinese is going to sell this mug for me for maybe 10 naira. But somebody is coming and say, I want 2 million of this mug. It's not going to be the same price. Yeah. So my landed cost and that person's landed cost is not going to be different. So how am I going to sell my own product? It's the exact same product. So you need to understand what it means to do business in China. Are these goods that people bring regularly to Nigeria? Where are they selling those goods in Nigeria? First, go to those markets. It's Alaba, it's Lagos Island. Go and find out how much it is. When you get to China, calculate how much it is. Then you can choose to be different and buy some other things that is not common and be able to sell at your own price. Or graduate to going to China. Buy from these people that go to China. They will also give you discounts and all of that. But if you have big money to do good business and you go to China, Chinese are not jump from one person to another. Like I said, guanxi is important to them. A lot of factories that I work with, I've worked with them for 10, 20 years. Even when I see something cheaper in another place, I'm going to come and say, oh, Daniel, I saw this product you're selling to me. This factory is offering me. I'm going to show him all the documents. This is what they are saying. Can you do it? Or if you can't match it, or I'm going to go to this person and they'll say, oh, for you, we'll do this. And over time, you will see that they will trust you enough to even give you product and say, come back and pay later. And these other people's money is out. All those Lagos Island women have been able to build their businesses. Because in Onzo, they give them containers, 3, 2 containers, 4 containers, some even 5 or 10 containers of goods that they don't pay for. When they sell it in Nigeria, then they send the money back to them.
So honor, there's an honor code.
So if you can respect and understand the value of that society, abide by their honor code, get your own guanxi, your network, then it can enrich you in Nigeria.
That's, I've always told you, I know that you have you have a company now that supports people with procurement, I know, but I've always told you, you have to do masterclasses. Not just even understanding how to buy and ship, from China, but also, I think like sometimes some people don't know how to do business. Some people don't know, I've had my experiences. Sometimes you order something and the person says, oh, you're going to get it in 7 business days. Then 21 business days later, you're like, oh, I haven't. Say, okay, sorry, please, what's the order number? I'm like, where do we start?
Attention to details.
So, yeah, I think you should think about it, and do that. Okay, let's talk about mentorship. I don't like talking about this thing with you because you have 9 million and 70 billion mentees. And I'm just like, okay, there's no space for all of us. Can some people get out? Why is that? You have a really powerful tribe. Again, our audience is majority women and girls. You have a powerful tribe of women who look up to you, who come to you with concerns, come to you with their wins, come to you with questions, come to you with their dreams. I'm one of them. Why is it important to you to pour into others? Did you benefit? I mean, aside your mom and your grandma, did you benefit from mentorship? And why do you think it's important? Why do you continue to pour into people continuously?
I love women.
We know.
I love women. I love the resilient spirit of an African woman. It's something I've always admired. And I think one person that had the most impact on me in that is my grandmother. I could not do any wrong by my grandmother. She would be there for my wins. She'll be there for my big mess up. And she will still say, I can understand why you did it. But that thing was no good. You should not have done it like that. But I know you. I know why you did it. And so you see this your anger, you need to be bringing it down. And for me, having somebody believe in me like that, my mom believed in me and all of that, but my grandmother and I had a special bond. And that's something that I feel I think she lived in the wrong era. My grandmother was very Gen Z, very Gen Z. So for me, I grew up with that desire to nurture greatness in women because I've seen it happen for me, and I feel it's something that should also happen for others. Also, I've grown up questioning a lot of things. I question things a lot. I look things in the face. A lot of things that you don't talk back to adults. Why?
Why?
But you are doing something wrong. Why? Yeah, you have called me. Why can't I call you? I mean,
Right.
Needless to say, I chop plenty beating as a child. As a correct beating. That gentle parenting did not apply to me at all. So the things that I noticed growing up. Very patriarchal society. But especially for Yorubas, if you look at our traditional past, there's been a mental conditioning for women. We are being raised to be antagonistic towards each other. It's something that as a child, I think the first time I raised that question with my uncle, I think I was 7. I asked, why does there was a particular man, my mom is from Ife. I was in Ife, and then there's this cocoa merchant that has like 4 wives. There is one that manages the farm. There's one that manages the produce. There is one that sells in the market. There's one that does the accounting. And all these women, they're always fighting, always at each other's neck. And I'm like, these women work so hard. And this man drives Volvo. He's always having one new side chicks or the other. And I'm like, why is this like this? And then today we'll favor one, tomorrow.
Yeah.
So everybody is clamoring for his attention. And I question that. So you see, there is this thing in our ancestral past that pitch women against each other. You are competitive, you are antagonistic, I'm trying to be better than. So I've always asked, why can't we be collaborative? My uncle said, mind your own business and everything. So I remember going to this man's house one day. They didn't call me, but needless to say, that was the end of my holiday also. So I went to meet one of them. I was small. I was 7, I think. 7 going to be 8. I remember going. And the one that goes to the farm, I told her, I said, Ma, do you know that the work you are doing in this house is a lot?
Wait, I'm sorry,
I went to the house when my uncle did not answer me now. So I went to their house because I had
somebody's,
questions.
is it your house?
It is not our house. They were neighbors. So I told this woman that, do you know that if you don't do all these things you do in the farm, they will not have any cocoa to even sell. And you are very, very important in this household. And do you know that other woman that dries that cocoa and everything, she's also very important. So I went to meet that woman too. I said, you see, the two of you have no idea how important you are. And I told her, I said, you see that auntie that takes it to the market, you don't know that if she does not take all this, all the 2 works that both of you have done, it's not going to work. Because she's the one that prepares this thing for them to sell. And one evening, they now called me and like, why did you say that thing? I said, you always fighting in your house. How much of this money that you people, your husband is making, do you get? He's the one driving car. Has he bought car for you? Have you bought anything for you? He's always carrying new women. I saw him with somebody yesterday. So there was a bigger fight that evening. And the man came to our house to meet my uncle. Needless to say, I was shipped back to my mother the next day. But that changed something for me. Because I feel when women come together and we reason, we can actually change things. So I ask women, what's your passion? What do you want to do? You can learn from my experience. Yorubas will say, the fact that I've been in this pit, it can be an experiential knowledge. You don't have to go and experience it. I can tell you my experience and you can learn from it. And some people have greatness inside of them. They just have fear alongside it. So auntie, I was thinking I can do this. But what if I do it? And then all they just need from you is just do it. You can do it. Or you want to do this. You know what? I know somebody else that does this. And then you bring all those people on board. And before you know it, they are winning. And one thing I also know is that when these women win, they move on. They pay it forward.
Effect, yeah.
So when I look at all these amazing women that have come my way. I don't take my mentees lightly. People think I have a lot of them. There are people that want to be my mentees, not everybody. Right. But to everybody that is my mentee, I look at them, they are all success stories. Yeah. They are women changing narratives. They are women shattering the glass everywhere, doing amazing things. And that gives me in fact, that's like billions of dollars in my accounts.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I see the confidence, the way they charge forward, and I'm like,
Go girl.
That's what we are talking about. You can do it. Yeah. So we have to be there for ourselves. Yeah. Another thing is, the initiatives that I lead, the Wella Angel Investor, where we give women money. These women, they are unbankable. Bank cannot bank them. They have money to take to bank. It's all this. I noticed in the market, all these small microfinance will come, give them small money, and then they will embarrass them. They will say they're going to put their posters up. These women are crying. And a lot of these women are the breadwinners in their family. I remember one of those women said she sells fish. She said the mallam that she buys fish from, because he gives her on credit, was constantly asking to sleep with her. She's married. And she was constantly turning him down. I remember the first time she took the loan. Oh my God. She said she went into the market and her shoulders were like this. She went and said, I want this fish, I want that fish. That the mother was now following her around, telling the other people that, she doesn't have money, don't sell to her. And she just patted a pouch and said, Owowa. So they call her Owowa now, meaning I have money. And you see, I will never, ever forget the look on that woman's face. Because I remember the day she came, she was like this. Now I didn't know she was loud. She's a very boisterous, full of life person. So now her business has grown. And how much did she get? 100,000.
My goodness.
100,000 changed her life.
Wow.
Just 100,000 naira. Because the fish she bought, she was able to sell to caterers. She was able to sell to people that are selling food in the evening. She went to collect. And now people that would normally would not offer credit were now begging for her to have, take her stock. Fish is quite perishable. So she's the one saying, no, I don't want from you. Your fish is not even fresh and everything. And you see, when you see how these people now begin to have their own voices, or is it the widow that her husband, people took everything, and her first loan that she took, she was selling pepper. Then she bought a grinding machine. And then the container beside her, the lady that has that container left, and she started selling provision. She trained her 2 daughters to go to school. One has gotten married. Now, she came back and said, that she doesn't need the loan anymore. In fact, she also wants to be able to come and contribute to that purse and be able to give to other people. That woman that is selling fish, she told me, I said, Auntie, I just said I should tell you, I started building my small place. So
wow.
And we don't know the ripple effect of just doing something so little for some other person. Women, and in all the years we've done this Wella Angel Investor, not one person has defaulted.
I mean, data shows that women
pay back the loan. In fact, I used to chase them back 6 months. I want to be, because it's interest free.
Right.
I said, don't worry, go and see. Auntie, I don't want to be. I want to still be able to collect next year. Right. So you see, when we put our effort into women, what we get back, by nature, women are nurturing. They nurture, they bring life. It brings, the harvest is always bountiful.
Yeah, I love that. The harvest is always bountiful.
When you invest in women.
Let's talk about faith. You're a woman of faith. Yes. In fact, you know how people say woman of faith, so you're like, is it, you are Christian?
Yes, I am.
And I've always known that. But what I really like, I don't like is so pedestrian. My birthday 2 years ago, you called me, as you always do, and then you started to pray for me in Yoruba.
I love to pray Yoruba.
And then I started to cry. And I'm not even sure why I started to cry. It wasn't like I was sad or anything, but it was just so powerful. And language transcended my spirit. So I was like, she sees me. She's speaking in a language. Sometimes you feel some things, but you can't English is okay, but it's not weighty. And then you prayed in Yoruba, and my spirit literally, I was like, yes, she sees it, she gets it. Where does faith come in your life? How do you balance is not the word. How is it like an important part of your life, and like why?
My faith is my roadmap.
Mm.
If you ask me, Yemi, how did you get here? I can't tell you. I can't remove God from my story. Is an integral part of who I am. And that's something I try to pass on to my children. Now I see it a lot in my daughter, because she'll say, I got a word for this thing. And I'm like, Auntie. And she will okay, I'm not trying to, but let's manage it. Mommy, that's not what God said. It's going to be my reality. God has told me I'm going to work in my season of answered prayer, and I'm going to enter into it. And I see it happen. And I'm like, that's not me. But you see, that's also people seeing the hand of God on you.
Yeah.
And I gave my life to God in 1988. It wasn't, well, I think my life was snatched from me and given to God, because it was a particular teacher in school that was just, that woman will follow me everywhere and was preaching to me. And I'm like, why? It's like, God told me you need to be born again now. But I thank God for that, because God knows what I would have been if not for God on the inside of me. And of course, growing up again with my grandmother being very present in my life, I get to speak a lot of Yoruba in my house. My grandmother would tell you, oh, that don't speak vernacular, let it end in school. In this house, you speak Yoruba, you don't speak English. So I also understand what my language brings in. Because, I pray a lot in Yoruba. I like to pray a lot in Yoruba.
Yeah.
And even when you look at the scriptures, it comes across differently.
Yeah.
When you're praying, when you read the Yoruba scripture, the English Bible says lines will fall for you in pleasant places. Yoruba Bible says, "Ìpín rere ni ìpín tó bọ́ sí mi lọ́wọ́." If I'm to literally translate that, that means my allotment will be the choices of anything that is made available. Now that weighs differently. I'm not also ignorant of the devices of the enemy. Right. I understand that they are spiritual entities. I know that the devil exists. I know that they are demons. I believe that they are witches, even though I believe that the power of God, because the Bible says, suffer not a witch to live. If there is no witches, it will not be mentioned in the Bible. And there are incantations, there are enchantments in either Hausa, Igbo, Yoruba, whatever, they exist. And I always tell people, the person that is calling your name is not saying something in English language. He said, he's saying it in Yoruba. So please, if I'm praying, let everybody, maybe the demon around that area does not understand English, they must hear me. It's true. That is why, when I pray, I will say, agbára kan ló ṣí ọjọ́ èní, agbára kan láti, agbára ìwà láàyè Elédùmarè ni mo lò. Meaning, words are powerful. The Bible says that the power of life and death lies on the tongue, and they that knows the power thereof will eat the fruit. So if you don't know God and you don't know how to use the word of God, how do you even begin to know yourself?
If you don't, please say that.
If you don't know God, you don't know His word, how do you begin to know yourself?
That's powerful.
Because somebody created me. What is my purpose? Why am I here? Am I a cup? Am I a spoon? Am I a bag? Am I a shoe?
Right.
Because if I'm a shoe, then I'm supposed to be on somebody's feet, and that's me fulfilling purpose. If I'm to be a cup, I'm supposed to hold water for somebody to drink. Because if I put a comb now and plug it to the electricity, what's that comb going to do? For that comb to function, it's to come here. And for me to find the essence of who I am, I'm like that adapter. I have to be plugged to electricity, be charged to be able to do so. My connection to God is not me being ordinary. That's me finding purpose. And that's me listening to Him and watching Him channel me and say, do this, do that. And I'll give a for me, even in the marketplace, I remember there was a big bid that they called us for. We're plenty there. We're sitting down there. And I just heard that quiet voice and say, Yemi, leave and go to so bank. I said, I don't have meeting there. There is bid here, I should leave. Am I? And I heard that thing again, leave. So I got up and I went. And I just went to see my friend who is an ED in that bank. I was like, oh, I'm passing by. I just said that you should stop. I was like, oh, Yemi, good to see you. He said, oh, see this t-shirt that my people want to do. I don't like this t-shirt. Why are we doing that? I said, you want to do t-shirts? Why didn't you call me? And he said, I don't know you do t-shirt like this. I said, oh, this is what I do. Yes, I do t-shirts. I was like, I called them in the office. I said, bring t-shirt sample. When he saw my sample, he said, please go and start this process again. Let her also, bring her samples. Let her do samples for us. And that's how I got the job. A lot of job. They ended up doing, I think, 20,000 t-shirts. And I'm like, I literally just walked into that. And my friend that was at that beat was like, Yemi, why did you leave yesterday? I said, nothing. How did you go? He said, shortly after you left, they said, the user said they are not doing it again. They canceled the job. Why? So you knew, you now left me there. I said, I didn't know anything. Now that is one.
Right.
And I can't count instances like that.
Right.
There's been an instance where I went to China. Somebody said, oh, I want to go. I just came back from China. To like, I can't go by myself. Please, I'll buy your ticket. Let's just go together. And I just said, follow her. So I just came back from China. Follow her. So I went with her. And the Holy Spirit just led me to a particular factory. I've not even been there. I bought a sample from them. And my client ended up ordering that particular bag. As other people even did knockoffs of that bag. As in, it sold so well. So sometimes I'm not even hearing everything. I'm hearing in part, and then it comes together. So my faith is an essential part of me.
Right.
And I don't take the place of prayer for granted.
Right.
A walking miracle.
I love that.
I've enjoyed
I love that.
Massive grace of God. And I will say it's that connection.
Yeah.
And yes, praying in Yoruba, praying in your native tongue is very key for me.
It confuses the enemy.
Because what you will get in 1 hour of praying in English, in 5 minutes of praying in Yoruba, those words will follow.
Yeah.
Quickly.
So as we wrap up, what dreams? I mean, you have a lovely daughter who is like bright and smart and she's enthused, and I'm like, she's going to be president.
Amen.
And I mean, you have a son too who is like doing great and doing amazing. What is your dream for African women and girls, particularly the girls? There's a girl somewhere who is saying, yes, I see you. I see who you are. I see how you are doing it, but I can't get there. Or no, Jean, it's too far. What is the thing that you're telling that
Several
girl?
things, but the number one thing, own your voice. Be unapologetically you. The good, the bad, the ugly of it all. Own it. Embrace it. Love it. You talk too much. What if that talking is what is going to take you places? You are the one that is always seeing everything that is wrong. You have attention to details. To some other person, it's a flaw. To you tomorrow, it might be an asset. So, number one, find who you are. Own everything. Embrace it. This is me. I have anger issue, it's true. The person that has anger issue means that they are intolerant of certain rubbish. Is you discovering why do you trigger me? What triggers me? When you identify that thing, that's this problem you are here probably to solve. So don't throw away anything. It's just like a whole corn. If you decide to mill it and sieve it, some things will be considered throwaway, some things, but there's nothing that is wrong with anything. It's just the use. I said that in the beginning. Own yourself, own your voice, be unapologetically you. Invest in yourself. Education is key. It's not a scam. It is key. It's like having bad eyesight and wearing glasses. you see clearly.
You see clearly.
Seek help. You can't be all knowing. Look for people that are above you. Look for people that are beneath you. Whatever the case is, you are doing better than some people. Those people that you are doing better, be the voice of influence and help to them. The people that are doing better than you, let them be the voice of aspiration and hope for you. Connect yourself, find your people, find your tribe, plug yourself in. Don't be that woman bringing down another. There's no time for that anymore. Collaborate with people. I can't do this. Oh, she doesn't do it as well as I do. There's somebody that does it better than you. No matter how good you are, there's somebody there that is doing better. Recently, I have my factory. I met a young lady that has 4,000 tailors. I was humbled.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to meet her in Kenya and learn from her.
Right.
Find other people that are doing great things. Connect yourself. Define your dream. Keep it close to your heart. Don't let anybody tell you it's too big or it's too small or you can't do it. It is a lie.
Love that.
Your dream is as valid as you think it is. And once you think your dream is valid, you will walk in the reality of it. Know that I've seen it happen to so many people. But more than anything, love other women. Be gentle to women. Be empathic towards them.
Right.
Don't be quick to judge, bring down. You don't know what people are going through until you walk in there. So always leave that room just a little bit. Even when you see somebody doing crazy things like we've all seen in the news, just cut that person a little slash that there might be something. And that little room would always give you that ability to be different from everybody else. Because like you said at the beginning, you said, I'm weird. I'm weird because I don't follow. I chart my own path. I don't follow a particular course. I'm not going to just because this person said it is gospel truth. I try to find my own truths and work in it. So I think everybody should do that for themselves.
Whew. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Mrs. Chukwurah, Mrs. Yemi Chukwurah, YC, aka Yemi China. Thank you for sharing yourself with us, your light, your words of wisdom, your experience, your business savvy, and your fashion sense. Thank you for joining us on
Thank you for
Women
having me.
Leaders Unscripted.